Getting credentialed for sporting events isn't that difficult. It can be a little bit intimidating, but it's honestly really easy once you understand the right language and the right approach to use. But I'm going to be really honest with you guys here. 98% of you guys that are out there trying to request credentials are probably doing it all wrong. Now, I know this because I get a lot of people reaching out to me for advice on how to get credentials. And when they send me examples of how they're reaching out to, I can see clear as day what they're doing wrong. And also, number two, a lot of the times I'm actually getting DM'd and messaged to try and get credentials for the events I'm at. And in both scenarios, unfortunately, their efforts that I'm seeing out there are kind of uninspiring, at times lazy, and even just really unprofessional. And I'm here to help you guys change all of that. Now, I'm not claiming that my advice is going to automatically get you every credential you request, and I'm also not a master at this. However, I do think I have enough experience now after being in the field for 7 years to understand what works and to have developed a little bit of a strategy when it comes to reaching out to teams and getting opportunities. So in today's video, I want to share with you guys the 3 biggest pieces of advice that have helped me get more credentials and more responses for when I reach out to sports teams in order to capture content for them. And if you guys stick around to the end of the video, I will also be introducing a brand new resource I just released for sports creatives like yourself who are hoping to land more credentials to sporting events. So make sure you stick around for that. Tip number 1, it's important to know who you're reaching out to. When you start to reach out to teams for credentials, there really is a laundry list of people you could reach out to, and at times it can seem really confusing as to who might be your best bet. Anyone from the social media manager to marketing directors or creative leads, but knowing the right person can really make or break your chances here in order to get access to the game you want to shoot. And my advice here is super simple. Reach out to the person in the organization who you have the most proximity to, whether that's by personally knowing them or having a mutual connection with through someone else. And if you don't have any connections or know anyone personally in the organization that can help you out, my advice is then reach out to the person with the most power or the most influence to bring you into that team's content plan for a game. In this case, it would be someone who heads their social media department, like a social media manager or director, someone who leads their digital content department, or even someone like a marketing manager would be your best bets in this scenario. Now, the most common mistake I see, and you're probably thinking about it right now, why don't I just reach out to the team photographer or the team videographer and get a credential that way? While in theory, it makes a lot of sense, I'm going to be honest with you guys from personal experience, team photographers and team videographers typically don't have a lot of influence in just getting people credentials like that. So I would suggest avoiding those kind of frontline contacts with the photographer and the videographer and going straight to the people who have that influence and the authority to make decisions like that. So at this point in the process of getting a credential, you know exactly who you reach out to. You can decide, okay, today I'm going to be reaching out to the digital content manager of X team. What do you do next? Before you even send an email or a DM, here's what I would suggest having ready, which leads into my second tip. Tip number 2, have a portfolio ready. It's kind of shocking to me that a lot of people who are reaching out to get credentialed don't have a basic portfolio, reel, or website ready to go to show your work, and that's exactly where I'm going with this. I need you guys to come a little closer. I really need you guys to listen to this point. I'm going to be very blunt here. If you guys are serious about working in the sports industry, if you are serious about getting access to sporting events to capture content, to make this your career, having a professional website showcasing your best work is a non-negotiable. You need to have it ready for whenever the moment comes. Whether you're the one reaching out or people are reaching out to you, you need to showcase your best work somewhere. Instagram is a great place to post your work. I've talked about it on this channel before. You should always be posting your work online for people to find you that way. But just having an Instagram profile with your work isn't enough. Teams, organizations, athletes, anybody who's looking to hire you wants something polished and professional to look at, and that's when a portfolio website comes into play. Now, this is a quick look at my website. It's easy to look at, it's polished, it's professional, it has all my best work ready to go for whatever client who potentially wants to hire me to go through and see if I'm the right fit. I use Adobe Portfolio to create this website, but you can really use anything you want, whether that's Squarespace or any other kind of website builder. I just use Adobe Portfolio because at the end of the day, it's included in my Adobe subscription and it's really easy to use. I've built 2 iterations of my website on this already, so if you already have an Adobe subscription, you can just use Adobe Portfolio to create it. But like I said, there are a lot of other options out there as well. The biggest key here is on your website, don't post every single thing you've ever made. Post like your 5 to 6 best projects, best videos, best photos that you've shot, that you've created to highlight for a potential client, to highlight for a potential team who might want to credential you, for them to see the best of what you're made of and then use that to make their decision. Don't post all your work, just post your best few pieces. That is all it takes. Once you have your portfolio in place and you know exactly who you're going to reach out to, comes the third and most important step, and that is actually reaching out. Tip number 3, craft a proper email with a high value offer. This is probably the most vital part of the whole process and the part where I see most people fumble the bag when it comes to getting credentials. You are quite literally at the finish line. You are at the goal line and it is the last play of the football game. It's overtime in a hockey game and you just got given a penalty shot and you could win the game here. It's a basketball game. You're at the free throw line and there is less than a second on the clock and you need 1 point to seal the game. And a lot of people here fail because they don't put the effort into writing a professional, compelling, and value-driven email to the team they want a credential from. First of all, I know what you're writing, delete it. Don't send the email that says, "Hi, I shoot sports. I live in your city. I want to come shoot your team. Can I get a credential?" Hit delete on that right now. This is something that obviously we've all seen or encountered at some point in our career, and we've probably all sent this email as well. I know that when I was younger, I was 100% guilty about it. The truth is, this approach of just asking for a credential and hoping you get one back simply because you have a camera and you want to come shoot their game is lazy. It sounds kind of entitled and probably 99% of the time is going to get ignored. Instead, just take 10 minutes and craft a well-written email that expresses that you want to provide value to the team that you want a credential from. You're not just asking for a media pass, you're actually offering something in return. Now, instead of just telling you guys this, I actually want to provide you guys a freebie here and show you exactly the email I send to teams and organizations when I'm looking to secure credentials in order to actually help you guys with a perfect example of what I mean by offering value through an email. Dear insert recipient name here, I hope you're doing well. I'm reaching out to see if there's an opportunity to assist your team with content capture during this game. My name is Juan and I am a insert your role here, and my focus is on capturing high quality, engaging visuals that enhance fan engagement and amplify team storytelling. I would love to provide value to your team by inserting value offer here. My goal is to contribute to your content strategy and bring additional coverage to insert team name here. I would be happy to show examples of my work and discuss how best I can support your team. Please let me know if there's an opportunity to connect. Looking forward to your thoughts. Sign off here. The key takeaway is the language I used to position myself as an asset to this organization, not just as someone who was looking to get a pass to go and shoot for fun. Now, most times when I've reached out to teams using this email, I am the majority of the time getting a response because of the value offer alone. And I'm going to be honest with you guys, if you do get a response, sometimes it's going to be no. Maybe they just don't need an extra hand for this game, or maybe they just can't accommodate you for reasons that are beyond their control. But on the positive side, you've now made a new contact in the industry that they can reach out to you if they ever need help capturing content. And if you got a yes, congratulations, you're well on your way to shooting another sporting event, but just make sure you follow through with that value offer that you gave them in the first place in order to maintain a good relationship, but also make sure that potentially you can come back and shoot more games after that. If you guys want to use my exact email template, feel free to go down in the description of this video, and I've included a link where you can download this for absolutely free. I know how stressful and difficult it can be to write these emails and do this outreach, so I wanted to help you guys by taking a little bit of the stress off your shoulders, and you guys can just copy the exact template I've been using for the last few years and try to get more credentials yourselves using this little tool. But if you guys want to go even deeper and better your chances of getting credentials from sports teams, if you guys want to know a little bit more about my process than I was able to cover in this video, then I have just the resource for you guys, and that is what I like to call the Sports Creative Outreach Kit. This in-depth guide is packed with pretty much everything I've learned over the last 7 years of reaching out, getting credentials, getting rejected, not getting emails at all, what works, what hasn't worked. I'm basically giving you guys an inside look at my process to getting credentials, including who I reach out to, how I reach out to them, how I make myself stand out, and also how you can handle rejection in the case that you do get a no or you don't get a reply. And even in the cases that you don't get a reply, I also have a section on how to actually follow up, because sometimes people won't look at their emails or they get really bogged down with a lot of emails and you may need to give them a little poke. So that's also included in there as well. And I think the biggest part about this kit is the fact that I'm also giving you guys 7 different email templates that you guys can use to reach out, not just to the team, but so many different people in the organization, from the athletes to the coach to the creative team, or even to a media outlet. emails specifically tailored for different people and different needs that they may have that could potentially get you a credential if you're reaching out to them. This is a resource and a tool I've been developing over the last year, between like 10 different versions, sending it out to people, getting feedback, redeveloping it. This has really been a labor of love because I wanted to create a tool. I wanted to create a resource that helps you guys get more credentials, or at least puts you in the position to get more credentials in the future. I really think this is a resource that can help a lot of people. So if you guys are interested in taking a look at it and purchasing it, which would support me and support the channel, I will also leave that link down below for you guys to take a look at it and see if it's for you. And as always, if you guys end up purchasing anything from my digital storefront, whether it's that guide or my LUTs or anything else in there, just know that I really do appreciate the fact that you're taking the time and the money to support me and the channel. It means the world to me, and it allows me to keep making these videos for you guys, to keep helping you guys in your own creative journeys. And that brings me to the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope you guys got something out of it. I know getting credentials isn't the easiest thing in the world, but hopefully you guys learned a thing or two where it can hopefully help you on your quest to getting more credentials to shoot more sporting events. If you guys learned anything new, if you guys enjoyed this video, please consider giving a like down below. Leave a comment if you guys have any questions on my process about getting credentials. And also, if you're new here or you've been watching for a while and you haven't subscribed yet, please consider doing so, as just like I said before, any support you give me helps the channel grow, and I really, really appreciate it. And that does it for me in this video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.